So yeah, the landlord and his group of people, the drama just doesn't stop. It just doesn't. Hear this. So if you don't follow me and you don't know my story, just to give you a little background real quickly, our past landlord did an illegal lockout and then sold, trashed, or donated all of our belongings. Everything. From a 4-bedroom, single-family home. Leaving myself and my 10-year-old daughter with literally nothing. Then, if things couldn't get any better, my car was stolen, as my followers know, and I purchased a new one. So obviously, when you buy a new car, you have temporary tags on the car, and for which I did. So here it is, I purchased the car in December, January goes by, I don't get them. February, it's like the beginning of February, and I still don't have them. So I reach out to the dealership. They say they don't have them. They're waiting for motor vehicles to send them to them, and so I wait longer. They magically appear, and the sales guy's going to mail them to me. Okay, no big deal. But I told him I don't live at that address anymore because my license still said the address of that home. I had to purchase the car and put the car with that address attached to it. He says he can only mail them to that address. I told him that I had mail forwarding, so he said that there wouldn't be a problem. Okay, no big deal. But they never show up. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for these to show up, I'm getting text messages from FedEx saying to come pick up a package. Well, I don't have a FedEx package to pick up. I didn't order anything. I thought it was some sort of fraudulent text message. But no, the car dealership mailed the tags and the registration to the home via FedEx. Okay. So, when someone says they have mail forwarding, that's through USPS, not through FedEx. The normal person doesn't have an account with UPS or FedEx, just like common sense. So now just complete and total negligence on their part. But whatever, I just want my tags. So the sales manager calls me and I reiterate this whole story. And the sales manager is just like, oh, let's just contact the house. I'm sure that who's ever staying at the house, they have them and they'll be happy to give them to you. And I'm like, yeah, no. And I proceed to tell her about the atrocious stories of the landlord and what he has done to us. The house is up for sale, so I'm gathering that she Googled the house number and found the real estate agent's information and called their office because I didn't give it to them. So she calls the realtor's office and gets a hold of not the realtor, but some other chick who works in the office. And they look through the office and they cannot find them. And therefore suggest that I go ahead and request duplicate tags and registration, and then I contact the police and motor vehicles in regards to this. So I took it upon myself to call the sales manager right back. I enlightened her that now, because these tags had to be signed for, you couldn't get these unless someone's signature was attached to it. And the dealership sent me a copy of said signature. So I was like, the realtor and or her company are now liable for identity theft, fraud, and a whole number of other things that I'm just not going to get into right now. And of course, the dealership's negligence is a result of this now happening. It appears as if the sales manager then started to panic because the next call I got from her was that she called them 4 or 5 more times asking them repeatedly to look through the office for these tags. AKA, if you don't have them, then we're both probably going to be in like a world of shit. So somebody from the realtor's office allegedly goes over to the house and the package is stuck in between the doors. And now she blames it on the FedEx driver and says, oh, they do this all the time. They're always signing for packages because they don't want to do their job, etc., etc. Well, I've got the FedEx text messages that he was doing his job. He was taking it back to the facility for me to potentially pick up and then attempting to deliver it again, taking it back to the facility, etc., etc. So I found the facility that the driver was out of, and I went to it and I spoke with his boss. I immediately tell her the story, and I said, I do not think that your driver is guilty of this in any way. But if you could just please confirm this for me and we could just get this in writing, that would be great. So she went ahead and did that. So she spoke with the driver and he said he specifically remembered dropping these off at the house and who signed for them. So then I said, well, would you mind going back to the driver and confirming what said person looked like? And she immediately got back to me and said that it was a white woman who appeared old. And then she prefaced that by stating that the driver was very, very young and that obviously people in their 40s and early 50s are going to look really, really old to him. And that she had dark brown hair. And that describes the realtor right on. Spot on. So the realtor had opened and knowingly was withholding my license plates and registration. And as a result of her fraudulently signing for a package, keeping and holding said package and preventing it from ever getting to me, I have been driving around with expired temporary tags for a month now. And what would be the purpose and intent on doing that? Not just to make an inconvenience, but the cost of getting new tags, getting a new registration, filing lost license plates with the police, and a whole number of other things. Like, you just stole the entire contents of my home. Everything that I own, everything that my daughter owns, every single last thing. You've got your attorney still coming after me for no stinking reason and are continuing to intentionally make my life as difficult as you possibly can. You've got to be the lowest piece of unconscionable scum on the face of the earth, pretty much. And that, in my opinion, is a fact. Have a great night.